Yeah, so today I want to talk about change and why it's absolutely necessary. Now, my philosophy has always been that the sun rises and the sun sets. Everything has a beginning, everything has an ending. And people, what's unfortunate a lot of times, they become comfortable with certain situations. And those situations are subject to change. A lot of the times you don't know when they're gonna change. That change just pops up out of nowhere. So change could bring discomfort, a lot of discomfort. Change could also bring comfort, but for the times where it brings discomfort, you have to ask yourself, are you going to adapt to that discomfort? Are you gonna initiate and embrace that discomfort? Or are you gonna fall victim to that discomfort? It's up to you. You gotta make that decision. Sometimes it's like, man, shit's going all right, but it could be better. If it could be better, and you have opportunities to make it better, you better go out there and get that shit, because it's gonna change regardless. Nothing, I'm telling you, nothing's gonna ever stay the same. Even when I was in YA, there was a lot of motherfuckers there that were straight G's. They would do their thing. They had great reputations, solid names and shit. Everybody had love for them. You hear they get to the joint, they hit those big leagues, and shit changes. They end up locking it up. You hear, damn, that fool's gone. He's done. And it's crazy because you wouldn't expect that. But shit changes. Maybe their situations changed. Maybe there was something, drug use or something, or some kind of fucking fear they had that made that happen. But let's say if they didn't want to live that life anymore, if they would have initiated the change before that, they wouldn't have to have experienced that shit. I always say right now, I never say I'm a hardcore motherfucker or I'm a straight up gangster, none of that shit, because I know what the fuck I am. You know what I mean? I'm a man on a mission. I'm over here trying to change and try to fucking help people around me. That's what I'm trying to do. That doesn't require me to be hardcore. So for me, I had to make that change. Going to prison wasn't an option. For my kids, living that ghetto life, that's not an option. You know what I mean? I had to show them that there's something else. They never seen me in the back of a cop car. They never seen me fucking drinking or fucking getting high. None of that shit. Because I had to make those choices. And like I said a lot of times before, it was fucking difficult. It was hard for me. At times I felt like I was abandoning my people. At times I felt like a coward, man, I should be out there. But one of my boys told me the other day, because I told him, there were times where I felt like a coward, dog. I felt like I wasn't out there. I'm glad I did it, but it was eating me up inside. And he says, let me tell you, dog, because he's trying to change now too. He's like, you were far from a coward. He goes, you were strong. You were holding it down. You were doing shit that other people weren't even thinking about because you knew you had to do that. You know what I mean? And that shit just tripped me out because, it's crazy because I'm glad my boys felt that way. I'm glad they felt that I wasn't scared, because I wasn't scared. I just wanted something different for myself. I wanted something different for my family. And they saw that shit. And they saw how much fucking discipline that took. That's why I always support my boys. If anyone wants to change, I always tell them, hell yeah, go for it. Like I said, it's fucking necessary. You can't be in the same spot forever. You can't. That's not gonna benefit anyone. And not only that, but it will change. If you don't like it, it's gonna happen anyway. You can't stop that shit. The only thing you can do is prepare for it. Or even you could put yourself in a better situation before then. I'm gonna give you an example right now. The last couple months seems like clockwork, I walk to work, I make videos. This is my routine and shit. But I'd be surprised, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm slightly a bit disappointed if I'm still walking to work like this next year, because I got other plans. There's other things I'm working on where I'm not planning on heading out to the same spot every day for the next couple years. Fuck no. This shit's all temporary. All this shit's temporary. So I'm ready. Like I'm at that point where I'm embracing the change. I'm ready for that shit. There were times where I was hesitant about it. I knew I had to change. I knew I had to make adjustments, and I'd make minor tweaks. Okay, let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. Now I'm at that point where it has to work. I gotta go out there and get that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I've embraced a lot of crazy things. Like as a teen, as a youth, I embraced that gang life. So I had to fucking, go to jail, do all that shit. And then once I realized, like, hey, I really don't like the way this is going, I tried it out, had fun with it, made some good memories, and actually had a lot of great life lessons from that life. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's one thing I got off of the streets. It's a lot of lessons about adversity, strength, discipline. Like, it taught me a lot. So I can't say it was a waste of time, because it wasn't. Like, I've learned so much shit from the fucking streets and from the life that I lived, which prepared me for my next phase of my life, which is working at the bank and doing all that shit. Like, I had to embrace, like, becoming friends with people who I normally wouldn't associate with. On the streets, I wouldn't have associated with them. I had to do things and speak a certain way that I wasn't used to. I couldn't go on the street. I couldn't go to Bank of America like, what's up, homie? Orale. Fucking all that shit. Like, people, what the fuck you doing? So I had to speak more professionally. I had to learn how to speak to co-workers, how to speak to clients, to fucking management. Like, I had to learn all that shit, right? And that was shit that I had to really say, okay, I want to be different. I want to be able to thrive in this place. So I had to make those changes. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, you know what? I learned everything I could learn from working on those kinds of jobs. Now it's time for me to move on again. And it's uncomfortable because it's like, so you always get that same feeling. Am I gonna fail? Am I gonna make it? Fuck it, you gotta go for it. Change is necessary, absolutely necessary. You can't be that same homie. Like, I once heard a story about a homie who said he saw another homie. It's crazy, he's a youngster. Homie that he's talking about my age. I'm not even gonna put any names out there. But the homie told me something that I was like, it's crazy. He goes, yeah, when I was a kid, I used to see homie on the bike. And he used to be like, what's up, little homie? It's all that shit, right? And he goes, I went away for a few years. I think he went away for like 7, 8 years. He says he comes out, and now homie's still on that bike. And he's like, shit. That he was like, damn, this fool's still in the same fucking spot. The only thing that's crazy is, like I said, change is subtle a lot of the times. There's drastic change, and there's gradual change. So the things that is crazy about those gradual subtle changes is that homie on the bike won't even realize he's getting older. He's getting wrinkles on his face. He's getting grays. I got grays like a motherfucker. He's getting grays. He's getting wrinkles. Time is moving. For him, it's moving slowly, but it's moving. And there will be a point where he will be forced to deal with something he's entirely out of his comfort zone. Like, it's gonna be it's crazy because it happens to all of us. There's times where we're like, damn, although I didn't see that shit coming. But you gotta prepare yourself, and you gotta be ready. So I always say, initiate the change, embrace the change. Think of it like a chess match, or think of it like making a move. Like, if you're busted and you gotta move on somebody, you gotta plan it out. You gotta fucking think, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this? That's how you gotta approach life. How are you gonna hit it? You can let life hit you, or you can hit life. You know what I mean? How are you gonna hit this shit? Be ready for that shit. Embrace change, embrace the discomfort, make that shit happen. I'm out. Peace.